It has been a couple of months past since the start of 2024, and it's now the month of March. Have you already marched to your dream travel destination? This is Petervan Bajao for Chapter 9, Laws Regulating Travel and Tour Services. With elated spirit, come join me as we explore the last chapter of this semester. In this chapter, we will be immersified by these four learning objectives. First is to enumerate the procedures in setting up a travel agency. Second, identify the responsibilities of a legitimate travel agency of tour operator. Third, differentiate ethical from unethical practices by travel agencies and tour operators. And finally, give examples of issues, concerns, and problems travel agencies and tour operators may have in the conduct of tour business. And now, let's start. As part of the tourism and hospitality industry, the travel agencies plays a pivotal role in the revenue support of the nation's economy. The law regulating travel and tour services in this chapter involve implementing rules and regulations by the Department of Tourism and Supreme Court decisions which define the nature of business of a travel agency. Under the Tourism Act of 2009, the primary tourism enterprise shall be periodically required to obtain accreditation from the DOT as the quality of their facilities and standard of service. In other words, accreditation shall now be mandatory for us travelers and tour services. By the way, do you know the difference between a tour operator and a tour guide? Well, a tour operator is an entity which may either be a single proprietorship, partnership, or corporation regularly engaged in the business of extending to individuals or groups. Such services pertaining to arrangements and bookings for transportation and accommodation, handling and conduct of inbound tours, whether or not for a fee, commission, or any of the compensation. While on the other hand, tour guide shall mean an individual who guides tourists both foreign and domestic for a fee, commission, or any other form of lawful remuneration. So basically, tour operators are those that you talk on the phone if you have reservations or the persons in the office. While tour guide are those that you talk personally or guides you along the way. Now, as part of the tourism and hospitality industry, we may plan to apply as travel agency and tour operators. Now, what do you need to know in order for you to be accredited? Section 2, who may apply for accreditation, we should consider the following. Number 1, a resident Filipino citizen. Second, a partnership organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of its capital being owned by Filipino citizens, and corporations organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of the subscribed common or voting shares of stocks of which is owned by Filipino citizens, and the composition of its board of directors being at least 60% Filipinos. Now you may ask, it's that easy? No. Section 3, for purpose of accreditation, the following are the supporting documents to be submitted with the applications. In case of a single proprietorship, a business name certificate and all amendments thereto. In the case of partnership or corporations, a certified true copy of the articles of partnership or incorporation and its bylaws and amendments thereto, duly registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Second, complete list of executive officers and employees, tour guide and travel representatives, if any, indicating therein their nationality, home address, and experience, including names and establishments previously or currently affiliated with, position, and length of service. Additionally, for alien officers and employees, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration and the proper permit to the Department of Labor and Employment. Contract of lease or contract to lease, the office space intended for the use of the agency or in the absence thereof. A sworn statement by the lessor that said property is lessee of his building stating the area thereof. Mayor's permit or municipal license, latest tax return and audited financial statements reflecting a minimum working capital of 500,000 pesos. Also should be included is an annual performance report on the sales production and a tariff sheet detailing services, rates, validity, terms or conditions, and responsibilities, and finally other documents the department may require from time to time. To proceed further, we also have Section 5, the minimum office requirements. The tour operator shall comply with the following office requirements. First, it shall be located in a commercial district and not in a residential district, and it shall be easily identifiable and shall be used exclusively for the tour operation business. Our next stopover, accreditation under the International Air Transport Association. IATA accredits two distinctive types of travel agencies: airline appointed agencies holding ticket stock or capable of e ticketing, and all other categories of travel agencies called travel sales intermediary or ITSI agencies. Essential to both programs is a set of objectives with appropriate business standards that travel agencies must meet. So, what do you mean by airline appointed services? Any travel agency holding standard and airline ticket stock or capable of e-ticketing may apply as IATA airline appointed agency, and the standards for accreditation will be based on the following. For managerial qualifier, a full-time person authorized to make managerial decisions and exercise daily supervision of the location. For technical qualifier, a full-time person who performs or supervises the performance of all technical aspects of selling commercial air transportation like making reservations, issuing tickets, assigning seats, generating other traffic documents, and many more. Airline appointed services also includes the premises, the financial capability, and the security standards. To know better about TSI or Travel Sales Intermediary, here is the definition. A travel sales intermediary is a business that is engaged in the sale and brokerage of travel related services such as cruises, tours, hotels, car, rental, bus, and rail transportation. TSIs do not hold airline agency appointments or issue airline tickets. After travel agency, we are now at the accreditation of tour guides. According to Section 9, these are the requirements for issuance of accreditation. Tour guides should have a proof of passing a seminar for tour guides conducted by the Department of Tourism or authorized agencies unless the applicant has special academic or professional qualifications relevant to tourism. A certificate of good health issued by a duly accredited government physician, clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation, and for alien applicants, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration and proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. Mayor's permit or municipal license, latest income tax return, other documents that the department may require from time to time. Now, after a tour guide or travel agency is accredited, there are responsibilities of business entities engaged in travel and tour services. Travel agencies need to take necessary precaution by exercising prudence and due diligence at all times. Under the present state of the law, extraordinary diligence is not required in travel or tour contracts. However, the travel agency acting as a tour operation must nevertheless be held to strict accounting for contracted services, considering the public interest in tourism, whether in the local or in the international scene. Our next stopover, Article 26, Prohibition against engaging in recruitment activities. According to Labor Code of the Philippines, travel agencies are portable to recruit. Travel agencies and sales agencies of airline companies are prohibited from engaging in the business of recruitment and placement of workers for overseas employment, whether for profit or not. In addition, the rules and regulations governing overseas employment provide for the following who are disqualified to participate in the recruitment and placement of Filipino workers overseas. Who are those? This includes travel agencies and sales agencies of airline companies. Offices or members of the board of any corporation or members in partnership engaged in the business of a travel agency, and corporations in partnerships when any of its officers, member of the board of partner, is also an officer, member of the board of partner of a corporation or partnership engaged in the business of a travel agency. In a fast paced world, we tend to adopt change through technology, and one of those is the ticketing and e-commerce. By definition, e-ticketing is one of the most significant opportunities to reduce the cost and improve passenger convenience. It reduces ticket processing charges, eliminates the need for the paper, and allows greater flexibility to the passenger and the travel of agent to make changes on the itinerary. And now, we have come to our final bullet: online tour packages. Currently, there is no law regulating tour packages. However, fraudulent selling of bogus tour packages and other forms of misrepresentation of tour packages online constitutes swindling, a crime punishable under Article 316, Paragraph 5, other forms of swindling of the revised penal code. Voila, that will be all for this chapter and this semester. This has been your reporter, Petervan Bajao, saying thank you for listening.